Hello there, Scorpios. Welcome to your April 2017 tarot reading. So, let me talk about the past so that you know whether or not this reading applies to you because the message is quite amusing. So, I feel like this. I feel like some of you have averted some traps, have avoided some shady situations and some shady people. And a lot of you have kind of like seen through, like, thought about the future, seen through somebody's ulterior motives, and you have successfully waited patiently for this person to slip up, and then you would give them, that cutting out them out of your life. And so I feel like you have averted a lot of temptation, avoided a lot of risky situations. And because of that, you're becoming a lot wiser, a lot more discerning, and a lot more, I guess, like self-assured. And so moving into the present moment, I feel like some of you are at a point where you're very critical. You're just critical of the people that you meet. And it's almost like you might be borderline like pessimistic, and you might just be like, okay, this person's too good to be true. I'm waiting for them to slip up. I'm waiting for them to tell me a lie. I'm waiting for them to, say something that is not in accordance with what they believe, and so I can give them the cut. And be very careful about this tendency, okay? Like to want to dissect people, to want to understand like hidden, like ulterior motives, to really want to like get, I guess, like have one up on people. So just be very, very careful, because I feel like on the one hand, you have a very, very sweet, loving side to you. And then on the other hand, I feel like it's so like you have such a good gauge of human character and human nature that is really hard for you to trust in a person 100%, because there's this innate fear that, oh, they're going to slip up. And so be careful about, straddling that fine line. Just make sure you are present in that experience and don't project too much into the future. Don't think about worst case scenario, and don't be so pessimistic, because, it's sort of like that self-fulfilling prophecy. And especially that message about, if you seek certain answers, you will find. And that takes me back to this story about, how some people they think that, like, their boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating on them, and so they look through their phones, look through their social media profile to find some things that would validate whether or not the other person is cheating on them. So the thing is, if you're looking for something, you will find it. So the message here is to be very careful of the tendency to, expect the worst, okay? Because it can create a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I feel like, it's working at cross purposes within yourself, because you want to open up your heart. You want to be able to trust and to let other people in. But you're kind of like sending out mixed messages. So be very careful of this tendency to project the worst, to think of the worst, okay? You might just be listening to this and thinking, no, I'm just being realistic. But the thing is, project positive vibes and you will receive positive energy in return. Okay, so that's just something I want you to keep in mind. I feel like for others of you, you have been tempted by somebody in the past. And they came at you, like a few times. And you're just like, no, 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 get away from me. And well, you didn't say that, but you sent out that vibe. And I feel like you were so fearful for whatever reason. You were so fearful of the outcome in getting involved with this person for whatever reason. And that you kept them at arm's length. And then, you might realize, oh, they've moved on. And they're a really good person, but they've moved on. It's almost like you could have had a good relationship, but they have already moved on because you try to keep them at arm's length. And you might find out now belatedly that, oh, they were actually a really good person. Or, I could have had a really good life with them. Or I should have, given them a chance. So I feel that element here of like, a little bit of regret, but also you're happy for them that they moved on. So I feel like deep down, there's that regret, but you're also very happy that you're not dealing with that situation anymore. And then for others of you, I do feel new love blossoming for many of you. I'm seeing like a lot of chemistry with another person, a lot of excitement with another person. And I feel almost as if this person is on the same boat as you are. They're also a little bit on the pessimistic side. They're a little bit they're too much of a realist. So they might lack imagination. They might not be very spontaneous. And so I feel like you're both peas in a pod. You're both very skeptical of each other. But I feel like the attraction is very, very strong between you and this person. And I also see massive amounts of online communication between you and this person. So you might be meeting them online. And I'm seeing you, you both staying up very late, either texting each other, talking to each other, emailing each other, or something through social media. So I see a lot of your electronics getting lit up. So I feel as well you're going to be in very high demand. I see a lot of people coming your way, a lot of suitors, a lot of solicitors as well. Just be very careful about who you choose to spend your time with, because I feel like they're not all good people. So just be very, very selective as well. And if you're pressed for time, choose the people that are the most consistent. Choose the people that, mean what they say and say what they mean, rather than spinning you this pipe dream, okay? Because I feel like in the past you might have dealt with a lot of people that you had a very strong emotional connection to. So it might not have been a rational choice, but for whatever reason, you were very emotionally drawn to them. And in your eyes, they could do no wrong. And so it wasn't a practical it wasn't like a rational response. It was an emotional response. And you got very disappointed because they say they're one thing, but you find out they're another. Or, they say they're going to do this, and then they do the opposite. Or they're all talk and no action. And so you're going to have to, break out of your usual type a little bit. So make sure you have that rational response to another person rather than just emotional. And what I mean by that is, let's just say, you go on a date with somebody, right? And you both share the same experience. So you feel like, oh my gosh, this person is like my peas in the pod, like it's like you share the same womb, and you become very emotionally attached to them. And then you might realize some red flags or some qualities about them that are less than admirable. But because you're so emotionally attached, you overlook these things. So be a little bit more careful about, looking at a person realistically. Okay? So I feel like you have been through some disappointing relationships where the people were less than honorable, where the people did not represent, themselves in a realistic manner. And so moving into new relationships, you're still kind of scared, and you're still, you've got your guard up, and you've also, you also think about the worst case scenario. So just be careful about, not letting the same people back in, but also being a little bit more critical, like discerning as well of new people, and make sure people hold up their end of the bargain. So if they say something and they don't follow through, and they keep doing that 2 or 3 times, just cut your losses, okay? Don't invest any more time. So you have a lot of good things coming through, but I feel like old cycles are trying to sabotage new things from coming to fruition. So just be very careful about that. I feel like old patterns, old cycles, old mentalities are trying to sabotage new things from coming to fruition. So approach new things with a new, like a fresh pair of eyes, okay? I know it's easier said than done, but you're going to have to do this, okay? So open yourself up a little bit. Allow new things to take root, rather than using the outdated or even old framework of looking at new situations, okay? Best of luck to you, Scorpios. I wish you the best for the next 2 weeks, okay? And I'll be back in the May reading. Take care. Bye-bye.